Hello, family. This is RC Blakes, and I am so thoroughly excited. I'm excited because Queenology 2024 is coming back to Atlanta, Georgia, August the 23rd through the 25th. The host hotel is going to be the Whitley Hotel. Amazing. Women are literally coming from around the world. It is a multicultural, multi-generational, multiracial movement of women from around the world. And I want to invite you and yours to meet Lisa and I in Atlanta, Georgia at the Whitley Hotel, August the 23rd through the 25th for Queenology. For those that have the Royal Court package, it will afford you your entire stay for the weekend. It will also afford you a private, formal dinner with Lisa and I to open Queenology up. It also affords you admission to every event, everything that's happening for the entire weekend. Now, we also have the Saturday brunch and intensive package, which allows you to get into the brunch where Lisa and I will be sharing the messages that God has given us for 2024 to share with the ladies. This year, I'll have my own message, and Lisa will also have her very own message. It's going to be powerful. During the Saturday brunch and intensive, we're also going to have a very distinguished panel of men that are going to sit before the queens and answer the questions that women have always wanted to ask men. It's going to be amazing. Now, also those that are part of the VIP experience, there will be a time where Lisa and the ladies will gather in what they call, I think, the pajama party. And it will be a time where women will have conversation among women. I'm really excited about the culmination of Queenology this year because none other than the incomparable Dave Hollister is coming to be a part of our closing event, the all-white party. He's going to sing the Queenology theme song as well as entertain the ladies, the queens, for that evening. Queenology 2024 promises to be like none other. Those of you that want information, if you desire to be a vendor, Queenology.net. Those of you that may need payment plans, Queenology.net. Let nothing stop you from making your way to Queenology 2024 in Atlanta, Georgia this year. Tickets are going very quickly. I would love for you to meet us in Atlanta, August the 23rd through the 25th. Queens from around the world are coming. Queens from around the world are rising. It is going to be a coronation. It is going to be a crowning.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop R.C. Blakes. R.C. is an author, empowerment teacher, and the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Hello. This is RC Blakes, and I'm so excited today to be able to share with you once again. Please do me an amazing favor and invite all of the sisters and even the brothers to come into this conversation tonight. The brothers can come in that they might be able to say amen to some of the things that I'm going to share tonight. Whew, wow, boy, this has been a fast-moving year. Just got through having my 60th birthday party, and I want to really thank God for all of you from around the country that flew into the city of New Orleans to celebrate my 60th birthday with Lisa and I. It was an amazing affair, and I have to just really shout my wife out and her team who really worked tirelessly to put my 60th together. I thank God for New Home Ministries, the physical locations, and the cyber community. It was absolutely amazing, 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 amazing. And looking forward to all of you that are going with us to Ghana next year. You know, Lisa and I are on this thing where we're traveling the world, and it was our youngest daughter that suggested we open the opportunity for those in our community to come and to join us, those that desire to do international travel. And so right now I'm on the Africa. I want to explore the continent of Africa, you know, and it seems like everybody seems to really love the travel piece. And it just fits so naturally into who Lisa and I are and what we're doing in this time. But later we'll do Asia, we'll do Europe, we'll do all of that together. We had such an amazing time in Egypt, and now I'm looking forward to Ghana next year and possibly a few other international stops we might make next year. But today, I want to discuss, I want to talk about, I always struggle with how to title. I struggle with how to title these conversations because, you know, I just kind of like jot my notes down and my thoughts, and then when it's time to go live with this thing, I'm always struggling with, now what should I have titled this? I have the content, but not necessarily the greatest title. So what I landed on, just off of the top of my head, for this one is the energy. This is for women relative to relationships with men. The energy of a would-be faithful man. What does, when a woman is in a relationship with a guy and she's endeavoring to be serious about him, or she is serious about him, what does that energy feel like if he is to be trusted? I don't know if my mother-in-law is on here or not, but when I came back to get Lisa and to ask her to marry me, my mother-in-law wanted to have a serious conversation with me because she wanted to know if I was really serious about being a husband, because my reputation was not good, right? And so all I could say was time will tell, right? That was the 30-year-old version of me, 29-year-old, 30-year. Yeah, I just turned 30. That was the 30-year-old version of me. But now as a 60-year-old man, in retrospect, having lived many of these things out in real time and, having been the guy that evolved from being that kind of guy, typical kind of guy, to being a faithful, upstanding husband, now a man that actually is trusted and is considered a safe space by women around the world, I learned some things. And there are a few things that I want to share with you today that I believe speak to the energy or the spirit or, the feel you get. The Bible calls it an unction. The Bible says we have an unction from the Holy One and you know all things. There's this unction, there's this internal feeling, that Holy Spirit produces within your spirit that makes you know where something is. You may not be able to dot the I's and cross the T's, but you can sense it. And so I want to lay out at least 5 things for you today that speak to that should be reflected, rather, that are reflected in the energy of a would-be faithful husband. I have a spiritual daughter of mine that's getting ready to get married this year. And her intended, I've just observed, and I really meant to call her, but I'm going to reach out to her until I'm really liking what I'm seeing, in her intended. Showing all of the marks of a man that's really serious about being a husband. If you go over to Proverbs 20:6, one of my favorite texts that you'll hear me use quite a lot. Proverbs 20:6. I think the sun has my forehead peeling, so if y'all see me peeling, the sun did it. Proverbs 20:6 says, most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness. Here it is. But a faithful man who can find? Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? So what does that say to you? That means you can find a faithful man. But you need to understand certain things, and you need to be intentional about proving him, vetting him, to truly be a faithful man. Now, you can't be a woman that's so desperate for a relationship that you ignore red flags that are on fire, flapping in the wind. You have to be a queen conscious woman with self-esteem that has certain standards and has marked your boundaries and refuses to compromise yourself. And if you're that kind of woman, you can take the things that I'm giving you now and you can objectively analyze your relationship with this guy to see if this guy is proving to have the energy or the spirit of a man that is faithful. Faithful man who can find. You can find a faithful man. Listen to some of this stuff right here. Holy Spirit gave me this, and it comes out of my own experiences, honestly. Comes out of my own experiences. And so when I sit here on Monday nights and I talk with you, I'm talking from the posture of not necessarily your father. Some of you, I am your spiritual father. Maybe one of my biological daughters may be on here, maybe even biological. But I am speaking from the position of a father. And the voice of a father is one that speaks to your empowerment, your betterment, your understanding, and the only desire is your best interest. That's why I show up here, and that's why I do what I do. But number one, a man that has Faithful man energy. When you're in relationship with a guy, this is for women who are. This is when you've entered into a relationship with a guy, and hopefully you're taking your time and you're vetting this guy, and you're not jumping to the middle of the bed. That's for Lisa, who went, not my Lisa, but Lisa who went to Egypt with us, who thought it was just so funny. When she met me in Egypt, she thinks it's so funny when I say the middle of the bed. If you're a woman that is taking your time, here's the first thing you should see, you will see in a faithful man. When a man, in other words, when a man has put away, and let me say this before I say that. Well, let me just get to point number one. He loves you publicly. He loves you out loud. He's not just loving you. He's not just trying to love you, in the house, in the apartment, in the dark, in the middle of the bed. But he loves you publicly. He loves you out loud. That's one of the things that I am observing with the gentleman that's getting ready to marry one of my daughters. He does not have a problem loving her publicly. And when I say loving her, there are appropriate displays of public PDA, public displays of affection. There are appropriate PDAs, but just the acknowledgement, see, there are a lot of you who are in what you think are relationships, and this man doesn't love you. His whole energy changes when you get public, and you're afraid to address it because the broken consciousness in you is afraid that if you address it to require what you actually deserve, that somehow he's going to leave. I think I said it a few times ago. How can you worry about a man leaving that's never shown up? If a man doesn't love you out loud and publicly, you don't really have that man. This is the thing I was getting ready to say. A lot of times, and this is very true in the case of men. I had to do this, and every man, well, most men, should I say, will have to do this when they find the one. Usually there's a season where he has to tie up all of the loose ends. And what do I mean by loose ends? He has a lot of illicit relationships that he has to shut down and cut off. And he has to do that carefully, especially if he's a man of any renown. He can't just, cold turkey, he has to diplomatically shut certain things down. And it takes him a minute to get those situations under control. But once he gets those things under control, it's like, he wants the whole wide world to know who his lady is. Some of you, I'm saying that to say, some of you are with guys right now that may really love you, and you're not feeling this this out loud public kind of display of that love. Well, consider the amount of time that you've been in the relationship with him, and then I think you should have a direct grown woman conversation with him, and you should ask him, now, are you shutting down certain situations that you've dealt with in the past so you can move forward with this? Because I need to know. Because a lot of times we as men don't communicate that we're trying to tie up all of these loose ends of these soul ties we created without burning the complete house down. But once a man gets there, you see, once I got there and once I had cleaned my life up, I was able to stand up in the church and say, I had been a single pastor, and I was able to stand up in the church and say, Sister Lisa, stand up. Now, at church, I want y'all to know, God gave Sister Lisa to me as my wife. And such a day, we getting married. The church went up because they was just so happy that their pastor was getting married, and I had lived a good life for a little while there. God had really changed my life. But when I got to a point where I was free, I was able to publicly acknowledge my love for my wife. Because when a man loves a woman publicly, it signifies his willingness to show the world his commitment and affection towards her. This public display of love can strengthen the bond between them and create a sense of security in the relationship. It shows that he is proud to have her by his side and values her presence in his life. Now, when you've been in a so-called relationship with a man and there's no public display or acknowledgement of love for you, that's a joke. That's a joke. I'm going to say it again. You've been in a relationship with a so-called relationship with a man and there's no public acknowledgement of you. There's no out loud acknowledgement of his adoration and appreciation and love for you. And it's all a private thing. When y'all get out in the street, he won't hold your hand. He won't even kiss you on the cheek. Introducing you as by your name. Yeah. This is Lisa. Lisa, I want you to meet, Karen. Man, that's a joke. Because a man that's still playing cannot afford to have any public display of affection for any particular woman. Because if the wrong woman or women get angry, it will disrupt the apple cart. So when a man is slow to publicly love on you and acknowledge you as his and, him being yours, that's a whole, that's a stadium load of flags. That's a set of red flags. Because when a man waxes faithful, he loves his lady publicly. Any man any woman that a man is going to be faithful to, he's proud of her, he loves her, he does not want to lose her, and he wants the whole wide world to know that this is his woman. When a man cannot do that after a certain amount of time, there's a dead cat on the line. That's what the old folk used to say. I don't know what that actually means, but it means that something ain't smelling right. It's not passing the smell test. It's not passing the smell test. The Bible says in Proverbs 3:3, let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Put it around your neck for the world to see and write it on your heart. In other words, love and faithfulness should be visible to the world. Everywhere I go, I tell people about my wife, how I love my wife, right? Everywhere I go, every opportunity I get. Some folk get angry with me about talking about my wife, but you just got a problem. And it ain't mine. I'm going to talk about my wife because love and faithfulness should be obvious to the world. And when a man's heart is faithful to a woman, it is not just something that's concealed behind closed doors. It is something that the whole world beholds. Romans 12:9 reads like this. Let love be without dissimulation. And that term dissimulation means without hypocrisy. It means let it be genuine, let it be undiluted, let it be real. You don't know if a man's love is real, just making all this noise and grunting and everything in the dark. When a man's love really is real, it's out loud, it's in the noonday sun, it's public, it's on social media. Unless you got a man that's some kind of entertainer or whatever, and he has a certain brand that he has to uphold because his money depends on it, you should be a part of that man's. If he's on social media, why aren't you on there? He's everyday Joe. He ain't no singer. You know, he ain't no actor or nothing like that. He's an everyday Joe. Why is it that there are no pictures of you on there? It's because he got some stuff he's trying to hide. When a man is faithful, when a man has faithful man energy, his love is public and on display. And if I were a woman, and I'm not telling nobody what to do, but if I were a woman, I would challenge my man on, I would, number one, I would recognize it, and I would be very honest with him about it. I notice your energy changes when we cross the seal of the door. The man you are behind these closed doors is not the man I get when we in the street. Okay, praise the Lord. Number two, when a man has faithful man energy, he wants you to be around. He wants to be around his woman. I've never really had a lot of male friends. I've never been a guy that wanted to be around a bunch of dudes. My first preference is to be around my wife. My second preference is to be by myself. Right? And even when I was young and single and all of that, I never had a real desire to have no bunch of dudes around me. And so it really trips me out when I see guys who have girlfriends and wives, and you're constantly running away from your woman to go hang out with these dudes, these hard legs. That troubles me with this down low stuff going on and everything. Why would a man want to run away from his woman or not want to be around his woman, always trying to find a reason to get away from your woman? Wanting someone to be around, especially for a man, is a sign of genuine care. It's a sign of genuine affection. And when a man truly loves a woman, he enjoys her company and seeks to spend time with her. I love hanging out with my wife. I love it, love it, love it, love it. My favorite person in the world to be with. Oh man, we be fussing and everything else, but I'd rather be fussing with my wife than be laughing with anybody else. I just love hanging out with my wife, because when a man really loves a woman, and a man is really faithful, and a man is really locked in, he wants to be around his woman. And this desire to be together reflects a deep emotional connection and a sense of comfort in each other's presence. I gotta make a little trip out of town this week, and Lisa won't be going with me. And it's really kind of almost like an overnight kind of thing, but I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to process that, because I like my woman to be around. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24 says, "Therefore shall a man," here it is, "leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be" what? "One flesh." A man that has faithful man energy leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh. Now, I love this thing here, because the term cleave in the Hebrew is a verb meaning to cling to join with, to stay with. It is used of something sticking to or clinging to something else. When a man really loves a woman and he's really faithful to his girl, he wants her around. He wants her at his side. Now, I'm gonna just take a little jog off the track and I'm gonna come back to my main points, right? But this is one of the main reasons masculine men have a desire to provide for their wives. You know why? One of the main reasons a masculine man wants to be the provider for his wife is that he does not want another man or some boss or some corporation dictating his wife's time, her whereabouts. A masculine man wants to provide for his wife so he can have his wife accessible whenever he desires, right? Okay, now let's get back to the track. Go to Proverbs chapter 5. Because when a man is faithful, when a man has faithful man energy, he desires his woman he wants to be around his woman. You know, this is why she has to love him, you know, as much as he loves her, because when a man really loves you, he wants you around. If you don't really love a man, it's going to be a challenge for you to actually meet the demands of being in his presence as much as he's going to want to be around you, you know. Proverbs chapter 5, verses 18 and 19, it reads like this. Let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. Because when a man is faithful, he's consumed with you. He's consumed with you. He's consumed with you. I just thought it was funny, because I don't usually get stuff like this here. But the other day, Lisa and I were at the grocery store. And, you know, I'm doing like the typical little husband. I'm standing by the cart while she running around getting all this stuff, you know. I'm standing by the cart. When she called, I'm pushing the cart to wherever she want to go. So while I'm standing there, a sister passed by, and she looked, and I assumed the first time, I said, well, she probably knows who I am. She gonna, you know. And then she came back. So I said, okay. She was looking, so I said, okay, she gonna probably say, R.C. Blakes, I know you from, you know, YouTube, or I know you from New Home or whatever. And to my surprise, the sister said, may I tell you something? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you're a mighty handsome man. I said, thank you very much. And she went on. And I continued to stand by the cart and wait for my wife, because anybody and their mama knows that R.C. Blakes ain't looking for nobody but Lisa Blakes. Because when a man is faithful and when a man has husband material, is operating with faithful man energy, he wants his woman around. He ain't looking for nobody else. He ain't looking for no homeboys. He ain't looking for no side piece. He's satisfied with his woman. Grown men are satisfied with their woman. You notice what the text says? Let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. He's looking for one. Grown men are satisfied with one. Now, number 3, he takes every occasion when a man is operating with faithful man energy, he takes every occasion to praise his woman. Every occasion he takes to praise or to celebrate his woman. Because praising your partner is a way to express appreciation and admiration for who they are and what they do. When a man, especially, consistently praises his woman, his wife, it shows that he values and respects her qualities, her efforts, and presence in his life. This act of praise can uplift the spirit and strengthen the emotional connection between the man and his woman. Now, when you look at this piece here, when I wrote this, he takes every occasion to praise her. When you think about it now, an unfaithful man does not usually praise his woman because of his contrary character. You see, when a man is unfaithful, he can't really praise his woman because he never knows when he's going to need to gaslight her to make her think that she wasn't all that. Because if she catches him in something, he got to be able to make her feel like she was missing it on some point. So an unfaithful guy, though he knows his woman is amazing, will usually reserve celebration and praise for her because he got to keep that close to the chest or the vest, because he may need to gaslight at a certain point and make her feel like the reason he was out here cheating is because she was missing it. She wasn't doing everything she was supposed to do. Or he may struggle praising his woman because he knows that he's not meeting that standard to her. And so it condemns him. It's kind of like condemnatory for him to celebrate how great she is when he knows in his heart how hypocritical he is. But I love what Proverbs 31:28. But a man that is faithful, and a man that is husband, a man that has faithful man energy, always praises his woman. If a man is not verbal about what you mean to him and the value you bring to him, that's a major red flag. That's a major red flag. Major red flag. Because Proverbs 31:28 says, her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. That's that Proverbs 31 woman. He praises her. That's one of the marks of faithful husband quality men that are faithful to their women. All right, let's see. Number four. I think I only have, what do I have? I only have 5. I'm almost done. Are we going to get out early today? Are we going to get out of church early today? I doubt it. Very seriously. Number 4. When a man is operating with faithful guy energy in a relationship with his lady, watch this, his caliber of friends changes. He ain't running with Pookie and them no more. He don't have no bunch of, them kind of boys running in and out his house. He's not up and down the street with all these boys no more. Because when a man becomes faithful, he and these boys don't have anything in common. They don't want to hang out with him, and he don't want to hang out with them. They're on different frequencies. If a man is, married or in a what's supposed to be an exclusive relationship, and all of his boys are womanizers and players, that's something to talk about. That's something to talk about, because if the tables were reversed, you a married woman and all your girls are, bed hoppers, a husband gonna have an issue with that. Because you are, as Byron Cole says out of New Orleans, you are who you rock with. Byron said you are who you rock with. And if you got a man that's supposed to be your husband, and he's supposed to be faithful to you, and all he running with are them kind of boys, you are who you rock with. When a man's caliber of friends changes after being in a committed relationship, it can indicate a shift in his priorities and values. In fact, it does indicate a shift in his priorities and values. A man who is faithful and committed to his partner may choose to surround himself with friends who support and uplift his relationship rather than those who may lead him astray. And this change reflects his growth and commitment to building a healthy and supportive social circle. Main thing on a faithful man's mind is surrounding himself with people that can strengthen his resolve. And he's usually looking for older guys or guys his age that are in the same kind of committed relationship. He's not trying to run with a bunch of them kind of boys. Proverbs 13:20 says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm, right? Man, I never will forget when I was a young man. I was in my 20s when God really got a hold of me and really cleaned my life up. I was in my 20s, and man, God shook all of that womanizing out of me, and I went into not celibacy, but abstinence, which I actually thought was going to become celibacy, because the reason I told Lisa I wasn't getting married was because I thought that I was going to be lifelong, pastor without ever really engaging in sex, without ever engaging in sex. That's how I thought I was going to live my life. But when my life shifted like that, that's the difference between celibacy and abstinence. Celibacy is a vow to never have sex. Abstinence is abstaining from sex until one gets married, right? But here's the point, when my life shifted like that and I got on a different frequency, man, all of the guys that I was running with, we had nothing in common anymore. I'm not out here trying to, knock all these different women down and running all these games and telling all of these lies. And so that's when my personality really aided me, because I was very cool with being by myself, to myself, and isolated, because those guys got out my life like, pew, I don't know if I left them or they left me, but somehow we went in different directions. And I was good with that. I was good with that because they did not support my my new life commitment. And whenever a man's internal caliber changes, his external circle should change. The greatest evidence of where a man is internally are the people he's rocking with. That's why I don't call a lot of people friend. I don't have a lot of friends, right? I have a lot of daughters and sons and what have you, and a lot of these people in my life for me to mentor and to help through situations, but I don't have a lot of people I call friends, because my friends have to be people that are committed to the same things I'm committed to. I can't be riding up and down the street with you and you on some other different kind of tip. He that walks with wise men shall become wise. See? For a companion of fools suffers harm. And when a man moves into committed man status, faithful man status, you will see it in the shifting in the caliber of his friends. It will change. And in a lot of cases, you will find that the cupboard of his friendships will become empty for a while until he, finds a new circle, people that's on the same tip and on the same frequency as him. So for a minute, he'll probably be by himself, rocking out by himself, be you and him rocking out. Because when a man is faithful, the caliber of his friends always elevates. And then number 5, I think we might get out of service early today. Can the church say amen? Number 5, when a man is faithful, when a man is really waxing faithful, when a man is really operating with faithful man energy, he shares more about his life with you. You don't have to ask. He naturally shares more about his life with you. He just opens up. He becomes more transparent. He becomes more detailed in terms of what's going on with him and how his life is looking. Sharing the details of one's day-to-day life with a partner demonstrates trust, intimacy, and a desire for emotional connection. When a man opens up and shares his thoughts and his experiences and feelings with his woman, it shows that he values her input, support, and presence in his life. And more importantly, it shows that he has nothing to hide. Men that have something to hide don't talk a lot. Men that are free and have nothing to hide. Now, this transparency fosters a deeper bond and strengthens the foundation of the relationship. And I call this voluntary accountability. Voluntary accountability is the reflex of a faithful man. In other words, when a man gets faithful, he'll give you details about where he's at, what his day was like, what he did. Maybe not to the extent that women do, because women, y'all just go on and on and on and on and on to the break of dawn. But, a man that is faithful he shares a lot more than a man that has a lot of secrets to keep or things he's trying to hide. He's quick to throw his phone at you, hey, dial so-and-so for me. That's the kind of move a faithful man will make. Babe, I'm doing this. Would you dial so-and-so for me? Put him on speakerphone. Because he shares more of his life with you. He's not as reserved. He's not as secretive. He doesn't have, I say all the time, and this is not to take away from brothers who have their caves, because some brothers need it. You got, I used to need one when we had all them children around the house. But I created my little so-called cave, and them children came on up in the cave. They took over my cave, broke all my TV up. Oh, my God, broke all my seats up in my thing. A whole house they had. They come right up to my room where I'm at, tear up all my stuff. I'm up in there. Every time I'm up in there, they up in there. Rachel up in there, Trey up in there, they're tearing up everything. So then I woke up and realized I don't need no cave because my woman makes my whole house my cave. I don't need a cave. I ain't got nothing to hide. Okay, now let me get on back here. Voluntary accountability is the reflex of a faithful man. He telling you before you even ask. Faithful men usually have the tendency of putting the money on the table too. And I'm not trying to get nobody. Please don't go tell your man R.C. Blakes. That's disrespectful to tell your man what another man said. Because the way I live my life is not necessarily the way your man wants to live his life. But I'm saying to you that when a man is faithful and a man is locked in on one woman, he ain't got to hide that money. See, when a man got to manage 2 or 3 different women, he got to hide that money. That's why they talk 50-50, because they don't want to go 100%, because they got to pay for this one over here and that one back over there, you see. But when a man is faithful and he locked in, he ain't trying to hide no money. He putting all the money on the table. You seeing everything. Ephesians 4:25 says this: wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. When a man is faithful, he tells you the truth. And, sometimes your trauma from your past situations makes you go and research what he said. And every time you go and research, you find out he told you the truth. You call him behind his back, checking with his friends, his mama and them, and just what he told you is exactly what happened. And you go to finding out this man is always telling you the truth, because faithful men share their lives. They want you to know everything about them. And I could go on with this, but I think I'll stop right here. We're getting out of church a little early. Not as early, but a little earlier. I hope that you've gotten something out of this discussion tonight. I really, really do. I really do. May I pray for you? Father, there are so many that are struggling with so many different things today. God, in the world, we are traumatized almost on a daily basis by the news, by culture. God, so many that are tuned in right now have issues going on in their lives that's even greater than relationships. Some are contemplating, Father, if life is even worth living anymore. My prayer for them right now, God, is that you will wrap your arms around them, Holy Spirit, and make them feel the love that only you can generate within their hearts. Let them feel love. Let them feel seen. Let them feel heard. Give them a sense of hope, because some have lost hope. And now I speak into their lives all over the United States of America and even the world. I speak life into you. Well, I feel God here now. I speak life into you. I speak life into you. And some of you are trying to figure out, well, what is this I'm feeling right now? Babe, that's the Spirit of Jesus Christ. That's Holy Spirit coming to rescue you from your darkness. And all you got to do is just say, Lord, I surrender, and watch that peace flood your soul. Whew. We went to church for real right there, in Jesus' name. Now listen, a few things I want you to understand. Queenology is happening in just a few weeks, about a month. Well, just a little over a month, actually. And you can register at Queenology.net. I understand that they created some more VIP spots for those of you that want to do the VIP package. They call it, I forget what they call it, but it's the VIP package. There are a few. They've opened up some more spaces for that. Go to Queenology.net. The main thing is the Saturday intensive in Atlanta, Georgia, August 23rd, 24th, 25th. The intensive is happening on the 24th. For those that are in the VIP package, the Royal Court Experience, they call it, we will have a formal black tie dinner on the 23rd with all of our VIPs and Lisa and I. And then on the 24th, which is the big day, we're going to have the intensive where Lisa and I are going to speak into your lives, where we're going to have the panel with the guys from Hardly Initiated. The famous Christian psychologist, Dr. Aldwin Tart, is going to be on that panel. And my dear daughter, Dr. Carrie Turner, is going to facilitate that panel on the behalf of the women. And questions that women have always wanted men to answer are going to be thrown at these men on that day. And we're also going to have on that Saturday, the 24th, this is the big day, we're going to have the drawing for the 2025 Ghana trip. Last year at Queenology, we had the drawing for Egypt, and the young lady that won the all expenses paid trip to Egypt, she was on the Egypt trip with us, and man, what an amazing time she had. She'll be back at Queenology this year, and maybe she'll be the one to reach in and draw everybody that's registered. Well, your names will be in the big tumble thing, right? Those that are VIPs, your names will go in multiple times. But everybody that's registered will be in for the drawing. And so all of that's happening on that Saturday. And then that Sunday night, we're closing out with a private concert done by the incomparable Dave Hollister, singing our theme song, which I'm going to play at the end of tonight's time together. And he's just going to do a complete concert for those that are present on that Sunday night. It's the all-white party, and that's where we're going to be getting out. And so, hey man, if this is your kind of thing, go to queenology.net and register now while there are still seats available. And just know that Lisa and I love you. Now listen, don't forget to go into the description and look for BetterHelp, the link for BetterHelp counseling. If you need counseling of any kind, BetterHelp will help you. And it will afford you 10% off of the cost of their counseling if you use our link. And they in turn will make a deposit into RC Blake's Ministries. Don't forget to check out all of my books. Sign up at Amazon. Sign up for our mailing list at rcblakes.com. Also, check out the online programs while you're there at rcblakes.com. Thanks to all of you who've sown into our lives. Lisa and I love you with all of our hearts. And it's been my joy to have shared with you tonight. And I want you to know you're on top. You're going higher. God has more in store for you. So we will see you at the top. God bless you. Until next time.
We here at RC Blake's Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. RC and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by RC Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by RC. You may find all books written by RC and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at RC Blake's Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.
My queen, my queen. Oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel. So strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every she's the glue. Yeah. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, oh, oh. Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying. Back to work, cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue.